Hello everyone, I am Ms. Gargi Chaudhary and today we are going to again see the third subtopic of chapter number 1, Advanced Diploma Cosmetology course, Sri Shivaji Science College, Amravati. Okay, so the subtopic that we're going to see today is the hair tonic and the hair conditioner. The learning objective are as follows. We're going to learn why we need hair tonic, what are the key ingredients that are used in preparation of hair tonics and hair conditioner, and what are the terms and conditions in order to select the correct hair tonic and the correct hair conditions as per our scalp and hair health. Okay, now the definition of hair tonic goes as below. That is, a hair tonic is a liquid or a semi-liquid cosmetic preparation applied to the scalp and hair to maintain the scalp hygiene, improve scalp hydration, nourish hair follicle, reduce dryness, and enhance the cosmetic appearance of the hair. So this is all about the hair tonic. Again, the hair tonic can be medicated and non-medicated. The primary importance of the hair tonic is to restore the hydration and moisture that has been lost by excessive shampooing, or that could have been lost naturally if the scalp or hair is normally dry in any person. Okay. Further, objective of a hair tonic, again, it is to refresh the scalp, restore the moisture, hydration, to improve the scalp comfort, condition the hair roots, increase the hair softness, improve the shine, prepare the hair for styling, and maintain the healthy scalp environment. Functions could be again the same: give a nourishing environment. All in all, hair tonic, the primary importance of a hair tonic is to give a healthy environment to scalp as well as to the hair and make the hair more manageable. Characteristics of an ideal hair tonic can be: first of all, it should be easily spread over the scalp, be readily absorbed, leave no greasy residue, maintain the scalp hydration, produce a refreshing sensation, be non-irritating, have a pleasant fragrance, be microbiologically stable, remain physically stable during storage. Okay. Composition of the hair tonic. The key ingredients that are used in the hair tonic are the purified water, that is the primary solvent, then the ethanol, which could be optional because the only job of an ethanol or an alcohol is to provide a cooling effect, but as it is rapidly drying, but it could later give a kind of a drying effect, so it can be, the use of ethanol can be reduced a little less. Okay, then comes the humectant, that is, it provides a moisture, it increases the moisture retention of the scalp. Botanical extract for cosmetics, scalp conditioning. Vitamins for hair conditioning. Protein strengthen the hair fiber. Amino acid, hair nourishment. Preservative prevent microbiological growth. Fragrance, pleasant odor. Color to color for the product appearance. Chelating agent improves stability. pH adjusters to maintain the optimum pH of the hair tonic. The common key ingredients in the hair tonic, if we are using the botanical extract, it can be aloe vera, amla, bringraj, rosemary extract, ginseng extract, green tea extract, hibiscus extract. The humectant that can be used in this humectant, this is a key ingredient to retain the moisture into the scalp, and to give a humectant effect into the hair tonic, you can add glycerine, sorbitol, propylene glycol. Then protein. Hydrolyzed protein penetrate the outer layer of the hair shaft and improve its strength. The key ingredient that can be used are hydrolyzed keratin, silk protein, and wheat protein. Okay, vitamins that can be used are the panthenol, vitamin E, and niacinamide. Hair conditioner. Now comes the hair conditioner. The definition of a hair conditioner goes as follows. A hair conditioner is a cosmetic preparation applied after shampooing to improve the physical properties of the hair by reducing friction, smoothing the cuticle, increasing softness, restoring moisture, and improving the manageability. So this is it. Now, conditioners work mainly on the hair shaft rather than the scalp, because as you can see in the definition itself says that it is to improve the physical property of the hair by reducing friction, so it should be applied only on the strands of the hairs. Okay, need for the conditioning during shampooing. As we know, the natural oils are being extracted from the hair and the hair is being devoid of the natural oils if the shampooing is being done. It can also lead to the static friction that grows on the hair after certain movements on the hair or combing of the hair. To give it a extra protection, we need to apply hair conditioner to make it more soft and make it more manageable. Then, mechanism of action of hair conditioner. Hair fiber possess a slightly negative electrical charge, and this is why when you comb repeatedly, when you comb your hairs repeatedly, when you rinse your hairs repeatedly, your hairs kind of grow in an upward direction, or in a it kind of stands erect, or it grows up in an upward direction because it kind of acquires a charge that is a static charge, that is a negatively static charge, and hence most of the conditioners are being cationic, so that already your hair strand due to friction, it has acquired a negative charge. The cationic conditioners gather onto your strand, and this negative and positive have an electrostatic force of attraction, and it is applied, it stays on the hair of a strand and gives it extra protection by smoothing the cuticles. It reduces the friction, decreases the static electricity, improves shine, prevents tangling, so on and so forth. So this is the mechanism. So whenever your hair, you brush it or you rinse it, it acquires a static negative charge. And because it acquires a static negative charge, it stands erect, or it kind of attracts to another objects. And to stop it, it kind of looks rough, and to stop it, we make use of a cationic conditioners. Or whenever you use a conditioner, or prepare a conditioner, make sure that you prepare a cationic conditioner. What it will do, cationic conditioners being positive in charge, it will acquire on the opposite side of the strand, it will acquire or gather onto the opposite side of the strand, and the negative and the positive being opposite in charges, it have an electrostatic force of attraction, and this electrostatic force of attraction will form a thin conditioning film which will further smooth and provide a nice hair texture to your hair. Okay, so before conditioning, because your hair has a static electric charge, static electric negative charge, it looks dull, frizzy, prone to tangling and difficult to comb. But after conditioning, because it has now been layered by the opposite charges, it forms a thin film. It looks shiny, smooth, tangle free, and it is easy to comb. So this is the property of a conditioner, and how are they prepared, and why conditioners are cationic in nature. That's because your hair has a static, natural, slight negative electrical charge. Okay. Function of a hair conditioner, of course, to restore the moisture, to repair, to protect. Cosmetic benefits are to improve shine, increase softness, reduce frizz, improve manageability, and enhance smoothness. Key ingredients that are used in a hair conditioner are water as a major part of a solvent, and the mixing that is being used in the solvents are cationic surfactant, fatty alcohol, emollients, silicones, natural oil, protein for repair, humectant to retain the moisture, preservative for product safety, fragrance to make your product smell all good, pH adjusters for product stability, so on and so forth. Okay. So now the major ingredient used in the hair conditioner is your cationic surfactant. Why? Because the main use of the hair conditioner is to provide it, is to give it a smooth effect. And what is stopping your hair to have that smooth effect is the static natural negative charge that has been acquired on your hair due to the constant friction, which will get minimized by the cationic surfactant used in the hair conditioner. And the cationic surfactant that can be used to prepare a conditioner are so on and so forth. That is benztrimonium chloride, cetrimonium chloride, and this chloride, that is stearyl cholium chloride. Okay, the names are a little bit difficult to pronounce, but do remember the key ingredients. If you ever come across the ingredient list and you see these names, you would suddenly remember that this belongs to a cationic surfactant, and this ingredient needs to be there in your conditioner whenever you are evaluating or comparing any of the products. Now the functions are to neutralize the static charge, smooth cuticle, improve compatibility. Fatty alcohol. Fatty alcohol that are mostly used during preparation of a conditioner are the cetyl alcohol, stearyl alcohol, and ceteryl alcohol. All these alcohols will not make your hair dry further. Okay, all these alcohols are good alcohols. We say that if you find these alcohols are good alcohols because they are fatty alcohols, and in return they provide creamy consistency, they provide softness, they provide moisture to wherever they are used in, whether in moisturizers, whether in the hair tonic or the hair conditioners. Then for the silicones. In silicones, dimethiocone, cyclomethiocone, and amodimethiocone, these are the common ingredients that are used in a silicone that will help to form it is used to form a film on any of the surface that it is used on. Silicones can also be used in certain type of cream gels. It certainly forms a shiny layer onto the object that it is being used on. So in the conditioner silicones, these type of ingredients will give you the silicone effect, that it provides a protective coating, increase shine, reduce moisture loss, and protect against heat. Protein. Protein, the type of protein that are being used are hydrolyzed keratin, silk protein, wheat protein, and collagen peptide. Functions are strengthen the damaged fibers, reduce the breakage. And further, we have the natural oils. In natural oils, you can prepare, you can give or introduce any type of oil that you want, that is coconut oil, argan oil, jojoba oil, olive oil, avocado. And its function is to lubricate the cuticle, improve softness, reduce protein loss from hair, so on and so forth. Classification of hair conditioners. Now, classification of hair conditioners are as follows. Instant condition, that is a rinse off conditioner. You just have to keep it for the keep it for 5 to 10 minutes and you have to rinse it off. Deep conditioner, that are the hair mask that you have to keep it for 1 hour and so. Leave-in conditioner, you apply it on your hair and keep it overnight, or even you just after shampooing, you just apply the conditioner, you can leave it on the hair until the next wash. Protein conditioner, moisturizing conditioner, color protect conditioner. You need to uh, select the condition as per your need for the hair. Now, selection of hair tonic and hair conditioner. If you have dry scalp, you need a moisturizing tonic and a moisturizing conditioner. If you have an oily scalp, then you need a something lightweight tonic and a lightweight conditioner, right? As per what your scalp demands. If you have a dandruff, if you have any of the conditions or any of the disease conditions especially needed for the scalp or hair, do select the key ingredients that we have discussed above and select your conditioners and tonic as per. Okay, for curly hair, it does need a hydrating tonic and a leave-in conditioner, because curly hair are prone to much fuzzy and to get tangled more. So it will kind of give it a more nice effect for the leave-in conditioners. उसके बाद है frizzy hair silicone based toners, tonic and the silicone conditioner, sensitive scalp, fragrance free tonic, mild hypoallergen tonic. Selection of hair tonic and conditioners. Now selection, now the part that we have already discussed. Now the basic functioning of the now the basic manufacturing process, it contains the hair tonic, purified water transferred to a huge stainless steel mixing vessel. Humectants are dissolved under constant stirring. Then botanical extract, protein, amino acids and vitamins as per are added. Preservative, fragrance and colors are also incorporated into the hair tonic. The pH is also adjusted at 4.5 to 6 and the formulation is filled with sterile bottle, labeled and packaged. Then further hair conditioner, the oil phase, that is the fatty alcohol, emollient, silicone and conditioning agents, is heated to 70 to 75 degrees Celsius. The aqueous phase is heated separately to the same temperature. The oil phase is slowly added to the aqueous phase under high shear mixing to form a stable emulsion. The emulsion is cooled while protein, vitamins, and preservative, fragrance, and heat sensitive ingredients are incorporated. The pH is adjusted to 4.0, 5.5 as you need to apply it to the hair. So it need to match to the skin pH also. The finished product is homogenized. That is, it should all be in one homogeneous uniform mixture. It has then been further provided for the quality test and fill into the container. So this is all the preparation that has been used in the hair conditioner. Okay. And then you have to also mention some of the safety precautions, that is select product according to the client's hair and scalp, avoid contact with eyes, do not apply to infected or severely inflamed scalp unless medically advised, use clean hands or applicator to avoid contamination, store in cool dry place away from direct sunlight, discontinue use if irritation or allergic reaction develops. So this was all about hair conditioner and hair tonic. Now coming on to the hair colorants. So what is hair colorant? Hair colorant is something that gives color to your hair. It can be temporary, it can be semi-permanent, it can be also permanent dyes. Now the very definition of a hair colorant is that it is used to change. It is used to what? To change, enhance, restore, and to cover the natural color of the hair by depositing pigment on the hair surface. So it can be temporary, it can be semi-permanent, it can be demi-permanent, and it can be permanent. Okay. Now, why do people color their hairs? The most basic reason, to cover their natural hairs or to cover the graying or white hairs. Enhance the natural hair color, changing the hair color for fashion, highlighting or low lighting hair, correction even uneven hair color, restoring faded hair color, creating a younger appearance, personal style or self expression. तो ये सब के वजह से we color our hair. Basic structure of hair. Now basic structure of hair is as follows. This is a basic structure of hair. The outermost part consists of a cuticle. It is the outermost protective layer. Then after the cuticle inside we have a cortex. It is a thick layer of the hair. It determines the hair strength and elasticity. And then we have inside the medulla, that is the central core of the hair, present mainly in the thick hair. Okay, and its function is, first of all, the cuticle. The cuticle's function is to protect the inner layers, control what enters and what exits. Then cortex, the function of cortex, it contains the natural pigment of the hair. This cortex is responsible for your pigmentation that is shown by your hair. It provides the strength and elasticity, whereas the medulla, it provides the structural support and little to no effect on coloring. So basically, what is important for the coloring? This part is very important, is the main reason that gives color to your hair, that is the cortex. Okay, then we have the naturally two pigments we have in the human hair, that is the eumelanin, that is responsible for the black hair and the brown hair, and then we have the pheomelanin. Pheomelanin is responsible for the blonde hair, red hair, and auburn hair. Okay, so if you have a eumelanin, you can have a black and a brown hair, and if a person have a phenomelanin, then that person can have yellow or red pigment, yellow, red, or auburn hair. Okay, so the function of hair colorant is to, first of all, we have seen, to cover the gray or white, to enhance the natural color, to improve the overall appearance, to increase the shine, to correct the uneven hair color. Classification of hair colorant, it can be temporary. It temporarily coats only the outer surface of the hair without entering the hair shaft. Okay, no developer required, does not contain ammonia, easily removed after one shampoo. Available form, it is a hairspray, hair mascara, color mousse, hair chalk, colorants. Advantage, it is easy to apply and easy to remove. Limitation, last only until the next shampoo, until you apply, until you wash your hairs. Semi-permanent hair color, deposit color just underneath the cuticle without permanently changing the natural pigment. Again, no ammonia, usually no hydrogen peroxide. It can last to 2 to 3 months, gentle on the hair. Advantages are, it enhances the natural color, adds shine, low hair damage. Limitations are limited gray coverage. Then we have the demi-permanent. What is this demi-permanent? Demi-permanent uses a mild developer to deposit color deeper into the hair than the semi-permanent color, but without significant lightening. Low ammonia or ammonia free uses a low strength developer. Now this can last for at least 3 to 4 months, produces richer color than semi-permanent dyes. Uses again it can be a color correction, gray blending, color gloss treatment, refreshing faded color. Then comes a permanent hair color. A permanent hair color changes the natural hair color through an oxidation reaction inside the hair cortex. Now this uses ammonia as well as the hydrogen peroxide as a developer, and it penetrates deep inside the cortex. It alters the natural pigment that is already present in your cortex, and the advantages are it gives a complete gray coverage, long lasting result, wide variety of shades, and can lighten the natural hair. Comparison of hair colors, as you can see here: temporary, semi-permanent, demi-permanent, and permanent. Ingredient, so you can select as per your need for the coverage, as per how much, why you need, how you need, and the time that you can invest in. Ingredient used in a hair color are coloring agent, dye intermediate, couplers, hydrogen peroxide. It is to oxidize dye and lighten the natural pigment that is heavily used in the permanent dyes. Ammonia or MeE opens the cuticle for dye penetration, so this is only available for demi-permanent and permanent. Conditioning agent, reduce dryness and improve softness. Surfactant, improve spreading, maintain moisture, that is humectant. Preservative, again, to prevent the microbial growth. Fragrance, to give a pleasant smell. So these are, and couplers we didn't discuss. Couplers is to develop different color shades that are given. Okay, so how does it actually work? As you can see in the figure, the working is as follows. Cuticle is first opened by the ammonia. Cuticle is opened, it is ruptured, so that hydrogen peroxide can lighten the natural pigment that is already present in the inner cortex. And then the dye that you have been applied or introduced during a developer phase, that dye intermediate can enter this cuticle part and settle into the cortex, and the cuticle closes and the color is locked inside the hair. So this is how the coloring of the hair works, and this is how you get a beautiful color on your hair. So the basic principle of permanent hair coloring is that ammonia rises the cuticle. Again, for a revision, ammonia opens the cuticle. Hydrogen peroxide जो है कॉर्टेक्स में जो आपके नेचुरल हेयर के पिगमेंट है उसको लाइट करता है. जो डाई पिगमेंट एज पर योर चॉइस यू हैव सिलेक्टेड, दैट इज कैन बी ब्लू, it can be blue, it can be brown, it can be black, it can be auburn, it can be red, it can be anything. That dye permanently settles into the, depending on what dye you are selecting and what method you are selecting, it settles into the cortex and it kind of gives the hair its color. So this is the difference. Now basic principle of a permanent hair color is the ammonia rises the, first of all, ammonia rises the hair cuticle, it will rupture so that cortex is now being exposed. हाइड्रोजन peroxide partially lightens the natural pigment. जो भी natural pigment आपके बालों का है, that the color that is already present in the cortex, हाइड्रोजन peroxide उसको लाइट करता है. Small dye molecules, it enters the cortex and it stays there. फिर ऑक्सीडेशन कन्वर्ट्स, अब ऑक्सीडेशन करने के लिए जो भी आपने यूज किया है उसमें, it converts the small molecules into larger molecules inside the cortex. Oxidation turns small dye molecules into the larger ones, और इसके वजह से the large color molecule become trapped inside the cortex, producing long lasting color. So be it demi-permanent or permanent, the mechanism is the same one. Selection of a hair colorant. If you want to go for a party and if you want a one-time change, then go for a temporary color. First time coloring, semi-permanent. Refresh faded color, go for a semi-permanent. Blend gray hair, then go for a demi-permanent. Complete gray हो चुके हैं बाल तो permanent करवा दो. Fashion coloring permanent करवा दो. Frequent color changes, semi-permanent. Dry or damaged, demi-permanent with conditioning agent. Basic manufacturing process क्या होगा? Prepare the base, that is purified water, emulsifier, surfactant. Then addition of a coloring ingredient. Addition of the functional ingredient, pH adjustment, homogenization, filling and packaging. So this is it. Again we'll see one by one what it is. Step 1 है, सबसे पहले तो आपका बेस आपको प्रिपेयर करना है. पानी लेना है, पानी में ह्यूमेक्टेंट हो, इमल्सिफायर्स हो, सर्फेक्टेंट हो, कंडीशनिंग एजेंट्स, इन सबको अच्छी तरीके से स्टर कर लेना है. उसके बाद आएगा आपका कलरिंग एजेंट, डाइज एंड कपलर्स. उसके बाद आप डालोगे प्रिजर्वेटिव्स एंड एंटीऑक्सीडेंट्स. उसके बाद जो है पीएच एडजस्टर्स अकॉर्डिंग टू जो रेंज है दैट इज 4.4 टू 5.5 तक आपको पीएच अच्छे से मैनेज करनी है, फिर उसको यूनिफॉर्म अच्छे से होमोजेनाइज करना है, और फाइनली यू हैव टू पैक एंड send it for selling. Then the product, obviously before sending out for selling, you have to go through the quality control test that will detect its appearance, color, consistency, every of these things, that is stability, microbial safety. And you have to mention the safety precaution, that is perform the patch test, wear disposable gloves, protect the skin client, follow the manufacturer's instruction for mixing ratio, avoid applying color to broken, irritated or infected scalp, prevent contact with eyes, use product in a well ventilated area, do not mix product from different manufacturers unless recommended, store product in a cool, dry place away from the sunlight. Advantages can be complete coverage होगा ग्रे हेयर पे, enhanced होगा confidence और beauty, है ना, offer numerous natural fashion states, allow creative color techniques such as ombre, highlight, low lights, and balayage. Modern formulation often include conditioning agents that improve softness and shine. So this is all about the hair colorants. Okay, so the main thing is you need to know the classification of a hair colorant, and also you need to know the process by which the hair tonic, hair conditioner, and hair colorants are being made. So this was all about the first chapter. Thank you.